Good morning, everyone. So,
Good morning, ma'am.
this is our last topic for module 3, which is pumping lemma for regular languages. So, before we start, um, we will make that announcement afterwards when we have some more number of students with us. We will just start with the presentation now. Pumping lemma. Okay, this is pumping lemma for regular languages. So, what do we firstly meant by pumping lemma is, I would just come to this, that pumping lemma is some sort of theory, or I would say some sort of mechanism to prove that the given language is not regular. Now we know that we have a certain type of languages like written over here, that if you have any number of languages onto which one alphabet is dependent on some another alphabet. So I'm saying that a raised to the power n and b raised to the power n. So we can see that they are saying the number of times a's are coming, that should be exactly equal to the number of times b's that are coming to us. Okay, that type of languages. Or in the another one, we are saying that if v is one type of language or one type of string with us, and the next string that would be there would be the reverse of that string, so it is also depending on the previous alphabet or string that has been already generated. So this type of things where your automata, your machine requires some sort of memory to memorize, to keep in record the things that can be used later on. Like in this example, if I'm taking n to be 2 particularly, then my machine has to remember that the value of n is 2. It has to be stored somewhere so that it can first write 2 times a and then go back, and for b it would check what is the value of n, and then it will come back and write 2 times b as well. So any that type of language which requires some memory, which requires something to remember, so that it can do comparisons with that memory and then write the specific language which is required, those are not non-regular languages. Okay, further, if we are talking about regular languages, then there is no such comparison, no memory requirement is there. A star b, your number of times of occurrences of a are never ever dependent on this b. If I'm talking about regular expression b star c plus a, here also no dependency, no memory requirement is there. Okay, so this is clearly that I have a number of languages present in the universe, from where I can certainly divide them into two parts. One is the regular part, and the another one is the non-regular part. Okay, so we will say that pumping lemma is actually a theorem which can prove this, that the given language is not regular. Okay, so we have to generally prove that there is no DFA or no NDFA or NFA or no regular expression that will accept that language. If we are able to prove this thing, then we can clearly say that this language is not regular. Okay, now what is the difficulty that is occurring there? That there are infinite number of strings present for that languages. So we have to use pumping lemma. We cannot depict it as it is by viewing the string, that okay, this string is a non-regular type of language. How? Okay, if we are just taking an example here, we are just talking about languages now. Okay, for these languages I am going to write, um, I would say I will write some expressions to you, and then you have to tell me that whether that language is regular type or non-regular type. Okay, the very common that we have already discussed is that if a raised to power n and b raised to power n is given, and given that this n should be greater than 0. Okay, this type of language is given to you, and then they ask that what is the nature of such type of language. We will say that clearly the number of a's are dependent on number of b's. That means that this language is of non-regular type. It requires some memory space to memorize that what are the number of a's, what is the value of n. Basically it needs some memory to memorize what is the value of n present there. Based on it, it will write that if n is equals to 5, let's say, then my string will be 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So basically I have to memorize this thing, and based on this my string will be generated. Further, if n is 6 7 15, any number of times, it will give me the answer. So, my question to you is that whether this string, what is the nature of finiteness of the string? This thing we have done in the previous lecture, that if I want to talk about the finiteness, that whether the string is finite or infinite. So, what type of language this particular expression is giving us? What type of language will it be? Whether it will be a finite language or an infinite one. Yes, tell me. You can write in comment section that if I am going to generate the number of strings by varying the n could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and any number, what would be the nature of finiteness of this string? Yes, everyone, is there any confusion? Just tell me, do you know what are finite strings? In the comment section, write any example of any finite set of string. Yes, if we are having any endpoint of that string, that means it is that set is finite if it is countable. Okay, so my question is simple, that I have written a raised to the power n, b raised to the power n for all n possible which are greater than 0. Greater than 0 means 0 to any n number. Okay, so whether this type of set of strings would be finite or infinite. If I am going to write it that n is 1, answer would be AB. Yes, yes, Sudhir, correct. It is infinite type. Yes, I think now you guys get it. A, B, B, triple A, triple B, and you can take any n number. It is never ever going to be n. So this is infinite one. Okay, now I am going to take some another example, that if this is given to you, A star B. Okay, this is the regular expression, and if I am going to generate string from here, what it will be? A raised to the power 0 is there, only b. A is 1, a b. If a is 2, a b. If a is 3, 3 times triple a and b, 4 times a and b, and so on. This is also of type infinite, right? But if I am going to compare these two languages, then one is your regular and the second one is of non-regular nature. Okay, so that means clearly we know that whether any language is regular or it is non-regular, both can give us an I would say infinite number of strings in a languages. Both can occur in infinite set of series. Are we clear till this, that how this language is regular and this is non-regular one? Yes. Are we clear till this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ji. Now, now there occurs some finite sets as well. For finite set, if I am writing AB plus BA plus C, suppose. So it is saying that your language can have either AB or BA or C. So simply this type of set is a finite type and regular in nature, because none of the strings that are generated are dependent on one another. It doesn't require any type of memory. So we come to a conclusion that for all the regular languages that we are having, okay, okay, if I am talking about only finite sets, that I have a language, okay, language can occur in two types. Either it can be a finite set or it can be an infinite set. Okay, this is clear that whenever it comes to a finite set, okay, this will always be of type regular in nature. But whenever we come to the infinite type, it may be regular or non-regular. Here we can say that there might occur a situation that it may be regular or may be of non-regular type. So coming back here, we are saying that difficulty is that the non-regular languages are of type infinite, and this is not easy to prove since there are an infinite number of them. There are infinite number of strings there, so we cannot check each of them. So it will create a difficulty to check that whether that string is regular type of or no, of non-regular type. Okay, so that is why we are using pumping lemma. So now, from pumping lemma, we came to a basic principle, which is the pigeonhole principle. You must have done this in your discrete mathematics. The pigeonhole principle simply says that you have a certain pigeonholes defined. Okay, you have some pigeonholes which are actually the boxes into which we have to put the pigeons, and these are termed to be as pigeon holes. Okay, हमारे पास ये boxes हैं और हम हमें क्या है, हमें प्रॉब्लम दिया गया है कि आपको इन boxes में से जो pigeons हैं उन्हें एडजस्ट करना है. अगर अब हम इसी चीज को इस तरीके से कंसिडर करें कि एक है कि मेरे पास बॉक्सेस ज्यादा हैं, पिजन्स कम है, तो ठीक है, एक एक पिजन एक एक बॉक्स में आ जाएगा और कुछ बॉक्स जो है हमारे पास खाली बच जाएंगे. दैट इज अ सिंपल सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. दूसरी है कि जितने आपके पास पिजन्स हैं उतने ही पिजन होल्स हैं, तो इक्वल नंबर ऑफ पिजन्स कैन बी एडजस्टेड everywhere. That will also be a simple problem, a solvable problem. But what in that case कि हमारे पास जो pigeons हैं, pigeon holes हैं, वो कम हैं. The pigeon holes are suppose 3 and the number of pigeons that we are having are greater than 3. That could be any number. So what happen in that case? Then we came up with a theory that whenever the situation occurs that your number of pigeons are greater than your number of pigeonholes, then there exists at least one such box where your number of pigeons existing in that hole are more than one. So clearly this situation. So if I am going to adjust these pigeon in this pigeonhole, then I came up with a theory that there exists at least one such object pigeonhole. Okay, there these might be more than one, but at least one box should be there where there are more than one pigeons existing. So this is simply my pigeonhole principle. So they are saying that n pigeons are there and m pigeonholes are there. Then the pigeonhole in pigeonhole principle, your number of pigeons are greater than your number of pigeonholes. And then we came with this thing that there is a pigeonhole with at least two pigeons, or in general, there is at least a pigeonhole with more than one pigeons existing in it. Now the question is, how can I compare this pigeonhole principle with my DFA? Okay, so here we will talk in terms of our states and transitions. That I am having this simple DFA is there with me. Okay, A and B transitions, and okay, this is a DFA. Okay, for this DFA, I am saying that if I talk about long string, any long string, by long string I mean that one way is that I can just simply go A, A, and B and stop. Okay, I have to consider long strings with four state or maybe more than four states so that I may get involved in some of the loops here, and this repetition of states might occur. Clearly now I am going from Q1 to Q2 to Q3 to Q4. Every state has been reached or traversed only once. My problem is that I have to make sure that at least one of the state has to be traversed more than once. Let's say if I follow the path Q1, Q2, again Q2, Q3 and Q4. So clearly Q2 state is the one which has been approached or which has been traversed more than once. So in those sort of problems, if we are saying that if we have taken this example that your string is A, then again A and B. Okay, in such situation the automata transition will follows Q1, Q2, Q3, again Q2, again Q3 and Q4. Okay, so whenever we say that these repetition of states occur, now you can compare these states with your pigeonholes. So, if I'm saying that in one pigeonhole, the occurrences are my pigeons, the occurrences are more than once. Okay, so what I would say that pigeons are my walked states, and uh, uh, what I would say the any number of states which are actually available. These are only four, but how many time I am approaching those states are actually my pigeons are more than these pigeonholes. Okay, so these are my pigeonholes, and the pigeons will be obviously more than that. So I would be getting a repeated state which might be Q3, and also Q2 can be there. These are my repeated states which are getting repeated again and again. So in this way you can compare your problem of DFA with the pigeonhole problem. Okay, let's say we taken another example where we have taken a b and again b. Okay, so here clearly Q4 is the one state which is repeated twice. So in this way we can compare that I am having this problem related to the pigeonhole statement. So now comes the pumping lemma part. So in pumping lemma, we have given a definition here. अच्छा, पहले आप लोग मुझे ये बता दीजिए, यहाँ तक सभी को क्लियर है कि पिजन होल प्रॉब्लम क्या है और इसे हम लोग डीएफए के साथ कैसे कंपेयर कर रहे हैं, ये चीज
Yes,
क्लियर है?
ma'am.
ओके, अदर्स? ओके फाइन, नो, वी गॉट अ नो. यस रियाका, आप 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 मुझे बताइए आपको किस स्लाइड में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, कौन सी चीज समझ में नहीं आई? कंपैरिजन. ओके, आई थिंक आपको पिजन होल प्रिंसिपल क्लियर है, बट हाउ वी आर कंपेयरिंग इट विद डीएफए दैट इज नॉट क्लियर. पिजन होल इज क्लियर कि आपके पास जब भी नंबर ऑफ पिजन्स ज़्यादा हो जाते हैं तो हमारे लिए उन्हें पिजन होल्स में एडजस्ट करना मुश्किल हो जाता है, और इसीलिए हम लोग पॉसिबली क्या करते हैं कि हमारे पास एटलीस्ट एक ऐसा बॉक्स होगा जहाँ पे मोर देन वन पिजन्स एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं. इसी चीज़ को मैंने अभी कंपेयर कैसे किया कि आप पिजन होल्स को मान लीजिए. Holes means your boxes, and your boxes are always less in number than your pigeons. So we say these boxes are actual states Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. These are the actual states. और जब भी हम लोगों ने इसे ट्रैवर्स करना स्टार्ट किया, ठीक है, ट्रैवर्स का मतलब है कि पाथ फॉलो किया, तो मेरे पास दो चीजें हैं. वन इज माई टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टेट्स. इफ आई जस्ट मूव हेयर, ठीक है, वन थिंग इज माई टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टेट विच इज देयर इन डीएफए, एंड अनदर इज द पाथ दैट आई एम फॉलोइंग. तो मैंने ये दो चीजें लिख ली, ठीक है, ये मेरा एक्चुअल डीएफए है जहाँ पे सिर्फ टोटल स्टेट्स आ रही हैं और एग्जैक्टली एक ही बार आ रही हैं. एक है जो मैंने पाथ फॉलो किया है जहाँ पे मेरी स्टेट्स जो है वो रिपीट कर सकती हैं. ओके, ये दो चीजें हैं. तो आई एम सेइंग कि अगर इन इन चीजों को जो मेरे पास फिक्स्ड है, इन्हें मैं मान के चलूं कि दीज आर पिजन होल्स, and the path that I am taking, that whether I follow the same path again and again, that could be compared to the pigeons. ओके, अगर Q4 पाथ मैंने 2 टाइम्स लिया है, दैट मीन्स आपके Q4 बॉक्स के अंदर 2 टाइम पिजन्स जो हैं वो रीच कर रहे हैं, दे आर अप्रोचिंग दैट. So that is why we have compared that if these are the nest, these are the pigeonholes, these are my automata states which are fixed, and this is the path that I have taken, and from this path I have chosen that this is the one path Q4 which has been walked through or which has been approached twice. ओके, अगर मैंने सेम पाथ को 2 बार फॉलो किया तो दैट मीन्स द अकरेंसेस ऑफ दिस स्टेट इज 2. इसका अकरेंस क्या है 1, 1, 1, एंड इसका अकरेंस क्या है 2. अब जो मैंने नंबर्स लिखे हैं उससे आप इमेजिन कर लीजिए कि वो आपके पिजन्स हैं, और जो हमने स्टेट्स लिखी हुई हैं दीज आर द बॉक्सेस इटसेल्फ, पिजन होल्स इटसेल्फ. ओके, आई थिंक नाउ इट्स क्लियर. यस रियाका. ओके, तो बस आपको यही करना है, जिस राइट द पाथ, राइट द स्टेट्स हेयर, ठीक है, और यहाँ पर आप इसके बाद जितने भी टाइम ये स्टेट्स पाथ के अंदर आ रही हैं वो काउंट लिखते जाओ, 1, 1, 1 एंड 2. और जो भी आपके बॉक्स बनेंगे, स्टेट्स होंगी ओरिजिनल स्टेट, उन्हें आप पिजन होल्स मानिए, और जो भी आप लोग यहाँ पर काउंट लिख रहे हैं उन्हें नंबर ऑफ पिजन्स मानिए. और आपके पास एटलीस्ट एक बॉक्स ऐसा आएगा जहां पे आपके पास एक से ज्यादा काउंट जो है वो वहां पर प्रेजेंट होगा. इन दिस वे आई कैन कंपेयर इट विद माई पिजन होल प्रॉब्लम. तो तो अब हमारे पास, हम लोगों ने जब ये चीज देखी कि एक ना एक ऐसी अकरेंसेस हमारे पास आ रही हैं, तो हम लोगों ने एक थ्योरम बनाया, ठीक है, जिसको हमने बोला पंपिंग लेमा. तो हम लोगों ने बताया कि जब भी आप हमारे पास ऐसा एक सिचुएशन अकर होगा जहां पे पिजन होल प्रिंसिपल जैसी प्रॉब्लम आएगी, देन डेफिनेटली आपका प्रॉब्लम जो है वो क्या है, वो रेगुलर लैंग्वेज को आपका सिस्टम, आपका ऑटोमेटा रेगुलर लैंग्वेज को एक्सेप्ट करेगा। ओके, सो फॉर दिस व्हाट वी हैव डन कि हम लोगों ने बताया कि हमारे पास एक इनफाइनाइट रेगुलर लैंग्वेज है। वाई इनफाइनाइट? क्योंकि हमने बताया कि जितनी भी फाइनाइट टाइप की लैंग्वेजेस होंगी वो तो रेगुलर ही होंगी, ठीक है। इसलिए हम लोगों ने एक इनफाइनाइट टाइप की लैंग्वेज ली, क्योंकि वहीं पर हमारे पास एक कंपैरिजन आता है कि वेदर इट कैन बी रेगुलर और नॉन रेगुलर टाइप। So infinite type of language L is taken, and we assume that there must exist an integer m, and m is known as critical length or pumping length. In some books or in some references you can see the word pumping length here. So this word m is your pumping length, and इस m का मतलब क्या है? वही occurrence जो हम लोग यहाँ पर बात कर रहे हैं, दिस अकरेंस, कि जहां पर भी आपकी मोर देन वन अकरेंस होती है तो वो कितने टाइम अकर होगा। दिस लेंथ इज m, एंड वी से दैट अब मेरे पास वो लैंग्वेज है, वहां पे उस लैंग्वेज में से जहां भी मेरा रिपीटिशन हो रहा है उस नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स ऑफ रिपीटिशन को मैंने m बोल दिया, और मैंने उस लैंग्वेज में से कोई एक स्ट्रिंग उठाई विच इज माई स्ट्रिंग w। ओके, फॉर एनी स्ट्रिंग w विच बिलोंग्स टू द लैंग्वेज l विद लेंथ, और उसका लेंथ जो है वो हमेशा क्या होना चाहिए? द लेंथ ऑफ योर स्ट्रिंग शुड बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल्स टू m। व्हाट दिस मीन्स इज कि हम लोगों ने अब यहाँ पर एक और चीज क्लियरली कंसिडर की थी कि आपके पास ये डीएफए है, ठीक है। इस डीएफए में से इफ आई एम राइटिंग हियर फॉर दिस डीएफए, अगर मैं बात करूं स्ट्रिंग ए ए बी, this is also acceptable, but this string is not involving any loop, ठीक है। इसीलिए हम लोगों ने कहा कि आप लोग हमेशा जब भी आप लोगों को स्ट्रिंग कंसिडर करना है, कंसिडर द वॉक ऑफ अ लॉन्ग स्ट्रिंग, दैट मीन्स द लेंथ विद एटलीस्ट 4, क्योंकि 3 मेरे पास मिनिमम स्ट्रेट लाइन आ रहा है विदाउट एनी लूप, सो आई हैव टू कंसिडर लूप्स ऑल्सो, और लूप स्टार्ट हो रहा है लेंथ ऑफ 4 के साथ। तो इसीलिए हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर ये टर्म रखी कि आपका जो लेंथ है दिस शुड बी ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू m, दैट लेंथ विच इज डिफाइंड। ओके, ये m जो है ये आपको आगे समझ में आ जाएगा कि व्हाट इज दिस m। सो इट्स लेंथ शुड बी ग्रेटर देन दिस। यू कैन कंपेयर कि हम ग्रेटर देन m क्यों लिख रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे पास कुछ स्ट्रिंग्स ऐसी बनती हैं जहाँ पे लूप्स इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं है। तो जब भी हम उस लूप्स को कंसिडर करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, देन फॉलोड बाय दैट जितनी भी स्ट्रिंग्स आएंगी वो सभी इंक्लूडेड होंगी, दैट इज वाई ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू m इज रिटन। देन वी से कि फर्दर हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम लोग अपनी स्ट्रिंग लेंगे और स्ट्रिंग को 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर देंगे विच कुड बी x, y एंड z पार्ट। ओके, हाउ दिस डिविजन वुड अकर कि कोई भी डिविजन हो सकता है आपके पास। अगर मेरे पास a b स्ट्रिंग है तो मे बी दिस वुड बी x पार्ट, ओके, 1a would be x, then y, then z, this might be there। सपोज मेरे पास एक बड़ी स्ट्रिंग आ जाती है 4 times a, 2 times b, 3 times b and then again 3 times a। इसका आप किसी भी तरीके से डिवीजन कर सकते हो कि सपोज माई x इज 4 times a, y is 2 times b and z is b ट्रिपल a। तो इस तरीके से आपको आपकी एक्चुअल स्ट्रिंग को कुछ 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करना है। ओके, हाउ हाउ दैट थिंग वुड बी डिवाइडेड कि वो आगे आपके इन प्रिंसिपल्स को फॉलो करे कि फर्स्ट थिंग इज योर x एंड y, द x एंड y, द साइज ऑफ x एंड y शुड बी लेस देन m, your y, size of y, the middle part, that should be greater than or equal to 1, and if I would write it in this way that x and multiple occurrences of y and then again z is there, okay, if I am having that this is my string x, y and z, now x y raised to the power I z. I have this thing x y raised to the power I and z. This is given. Suppose my I is 3. Okay. So how I can write a new string? 4 times A is there. Y raised to the power 3 means Y, Y and Y. Then B triple A. Okay. Just replacing the Y with the actual value, which is BB. Then I would write BB, BB and again BB. Then this string. Now I have just changed the occurrences of y's here. They are saying that if you generate a new string from the given string which is there, okay, this should also be the part of language. X, y raised to the power I and z, this should also belong to the language L. So this says that infinite language will be regular if and only if all of these three conditions are simultaneously true for any languages, only then. Okay, so okay, is it clear now? Hello, is it clear now? There was some network issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, so what we were talking about is I think you have just listened to this thing that this is my string. I have divided into these three parts. Okay, and then I was having this condition x dot y raised to the power I dot z, and I can take any value of I which should be greater than 1. Okay, and then if I have just said that if I would take 3 here, then I can write y here 3 times, and by writing y 3 times my actual string come up to this: 4 times a, 6 times, sorry, 7 times b, and then 3 times a. Then this string should also be the part of language. So the pumping lemma says, if you are getting this, that your regular language is simultaneously following or justifying all of these three states. First, x and y mod should be less than m, mod of y should be greater than 1, and this condition that x y raised to the power I for any number z, that should also belong to L. If all of these three things simultaneously occur, only then the given language is regular, else it is non-regular type. So this is a way how we can actually check that whether my language is regular or not. ओके, तो हम लोग अभी क्या करेंगे, हम लोग पंपिंग लेमा के थ्रू कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन के मैकेनिज्म को यूज करके अपनी स्ट्रिंग्स को एक्सेप्ट या रिजेक्ट करवाते हैं, और एक्चुअली हम लोग ये चेक करते हैं कि रेगुलर लैंग्वेज क्या वो रेगुलर लैंग्वेज जो है वो हमारे पास जो गिवन लैंग्वेज है वो रेगुलर है या नॉन रेगुलर है. ओके, सो हम लोग एक्चुअली क्या करेंगे, सपोज pumping lemma is actually गिविंग मी अ थ्योरम जहां पर मेरे पास कुछ सेट ऑफ रूल्स होंगे. ठीक है, आई विल बी हैविंग सर्टेन सेट ऑफ रूल्स देयर, देन आई विल बी यूजिंग contradiction method to prove or to check that whether a given language is of regular type or non-regular type. ठीक है, कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन मेथड में बोलता है कि आपके पास कोई भी एक गिवन लैंग्वेज है L, ठीक है, जस्ट अज्यूम दैट दिस इज ऑफ रेगुलर टाइप. एनी लैंग्वेज, आपके पास कोई भी एग्जाम्पल आता है, यू हैव टू फर्स्ट अज्यूम इट एज रेगुलर टाइप, ठीक है, और फिर देन यू विल गो टू द पंपिंग लेमा थ्योरम, बिकॉज इट इज सेइंग दैट इफ यू आर सेइंग योर लैंग्वेज इज रेगुलर, तो जितने भी सेट ऑफ रूल्स यहाँ पर डिफाइंड हैं इन्हें से फॉलो करना चाहिए. तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, हम लोग अज्यूम करेंगे रेगुलर है, और फिर हम लोग क्या करेंगे, हम लोग direct we will move to this step that we will try to divide our string into x, y and z part. Okay, how to divide that I will tell you. We will divide it, and based on that division we will try to prove that each of these steps will follows true there. Okay, each of these steps are assumed to be followed by these steps. If at any stage I found that for any combination of x, y and z any of these condition is proven to be false, अगर कोई भी एक्स वाई जेड के कॉम्बिनेशन के लिए इनमें से एक भी सिचुएशन, एक भी रूल जो है वो फॉल्स हो जाता है, देन कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन अकर्स. द कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन विल अकर इन टर्म्स कि हम लोगों ने अज्यूम किया था कि ये लैंग्वेज जो है वो रेगुलर है, बट सिंस इट इज नॉट फॉलोइंग वन ऑफ द थ्री रूल्स or one of the three statements which are defined in pumping lemma, that is why the contradiction occurs and we say that this language is of non-regular type. ओके, मेथड क्लियर है आप लोगों को कि आपको एक लैंग्वेज लेनी है, मानना है कि वो रेगुलर है, और फिर हम लोग ट्राई करेंगे कि क्या कोई ऐसा सिचुएशन बनता है जहां पे ये तीनों चीजों में से कोई एक या फिर एक से ज्यादा फॉल्स हो जाए. अगर फॉल्स हो जाते हैं देन वी विल से दैट कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन अकर्स एंड द गिवन लैंग्वेज इज ऑफ नॉन रेगुलर टाइप. नाउ एप्लीकेशन, हाउ वी कैन प्रूव दिस. ओके, पंपिंग लेमा तक क्लियर है.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay ji. So how we can prove this, that we will yes, this is the thing that we have already done, that every language of finite size has to be regular. Okay, तो हम लोग उसके लिए easily कोई भी NFA ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं और साइमल्टेनियसली DFA भी ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. बट जब भी हमारे पास नॉन रेगुलर टाइप का लैंग्वेज आता है, दैट कुड बी ऑफ इनफाइनाइट साइज. ओके, दैट मीन्स वहां पर इनफाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ स्ट्रिंग्स हो सकते हैं. So in those cases what we will do, these are the steps written. Assume the opposite, assume करो opposite चीज को, that your L is regular, then the pumping lemma should hold for L. then obviously अगर आपने assume किया है कि आपका L regular है तो pumping lemma को उसे hold करना चाहिए. then you have to use pumping lemma to obtain a contradiction and therefore L is of non-regular type. ये आपके steps आएंगे. Now how we can actually divide our string, that is written there, that your step 3 which is written here, use the pumping lemma to obtain the contradiction. So in the next slide we are actually explaining this third step, which is ये यहाँ पे फिर से वही थ्योरम लिखी है हमने कि आप m एक क्रिटिकल लेंथ मान लीजिए, एक w स्ट्रिंग वहां से उठाइए which should whose length should be greater than m, then you have to divide it and you have to show कि जो भी आपके पास ये स्ट्रिंग है this is not belonging to L for some I. Okay, one thing, this will give you the contradiction and then you can say that this language is of non-regular nature. Okay, if you do not obtain any such contradiction, then our result will say that this string W or language W is actually belonging to the language L. Now how we can do this? that I am having a language a raised to the power n, b raised to the power n. We have known for the long time that this language is actually non-regular in nature. We know this thing. Now we will prove that how it can be actually proven using pumping lemma. Okay, so what we will do, okay, I have just assumed a contradiction there, that L is regular, L is infinite. Now I have to apply pumping lemma. Okay, so what I have done, that I have done W is equals to a raised to the power m and b raised to the power m. Now this m is my pumping length. So now you can see that whenever we are talking about that, my one variable is actually dependent on other. So that dependent variable is my pumping constant. That is the value of m that we have to taken. We have taken a raised to the power m and b raised to the power m here. Okay, and we will say that pick a string, any string w, so that it should belong to L and its length should be greater than m. Okay, clearly we have taken that. Now comes the case, how can I divide into x, y and z part? So I have written that, I have written it as m a raised to the power m and b raised to the power m. Okay, so any occurrences of a occurs and similar occurrences of b might occur. So I have just taken any random combination. Okay, any random combination has been taken, that suppose this first part is my x, another part is my y, and this another part is my z. Just a second. Okay, so technically my y is equals to a raised to the power k, where that k could be any variable. So now the problem says that for pumping lemma it should satisfy the condition that x and y raised to the power I z, it should belong to L. It should belong to the language. So suppose I have taken x, y raised to the power 2 and z. Okay, so what I will do, that here I have written that y is actually a raised to the power k. Now I have to taken y to the square, then it will be a raised to the power k raised to the power 2. So technically a raised to the power 2k. Okay, so what we have done, we have just taken one y here and then another y here, and then just embedded the z over there. Then we came up that a raised to the power m plus k, because m is the actual one part, and now another k length has been included, plus b raised to the power m. Is this belonging to your L or not? I will check it. If it comes in that part, then I will say that okay, it follows the thing, otherwise it is a contradiction part. Now clearly अब हमें पता है कि देखो, question was a raised to the power n and b raised to the power n. The question was this, ठीक है, कि आपको अगर 2 टाइम्स a है तो b भी आपके 2 टाइम्स होंगे, 3 टाइम्स है तो b को भी 3 टाइम्स आना चाहिए. पर जैसे ही हम लोगों ने चेंज किया कि आपके y जो है वो ट्वाइस हो जाए, y ट्वाइस हो गया तो a रेज टू द पावर बन गया हमारे पास m प्लस k, राइट, और b जो है it is still a raised to the power b raised to the power m. So is my number of a's equal to number of b's? No, number of a's are actually k times more than number of b's here. So that this string is not a part of language. Which language? A raised to the power n and b raised to the power n. This is not a part of this language, because it says that whatever is a raised to the power, that should be equal to the power of b also. But here these powers vary. Here is m plus k and here it is only m. So that is why it is not a part. Hence we come to the contradiction and we say that a raised to the power m plus k and b raised to the power m does not belong to L. Therefore contradiction occurs and we say that this is not regular language. Okay, our assumption that we have taken that L is regular is not true, and conclusion is that this is of non-regular type. हाँ जी, इज दिस क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, जिनको ना लास्ट में इशू आ रहा है, तो आई थिंक लास्ट के 10 to 15 मिनट्स में ही कुछ वॉइस का इशू है, आप लोग ना रिकॉर्डिंग देख लीजिएगा, ठीक है? या सो हमें बस कुछ नहीं करना, वी हैव टू जस्ट टेक एनी नंबर ऑफ केस. आप के ले लीजिए, के को ट्वाइस या 3 टाइम्स कर दो, देन जनरेट अ न्यू स्ट्रिंग. फ्रॉम दैट न्यू स्ट्रिंग आपको कंपेयर करना है एंड देन यू हैव टू गिव योर कंक्लूजन. दैट्स इट. ओके, अगर किसी को कोई भी कंफ्यूजन है इस टॉपिक में देन प्लीज यू कैन टेल मी, अदरवाइज वी आर डन. Okay, I suppose everything is clear. Okay, then thank you.